And here she is, fresh from her escape from the middle class, is Hope Clark.
Hi.
Hope, you want to give us a brief rundown on your symbolism in that piece?
Okay. The plastic is definitely the representation of middle-class comfort.
Didn't look that comfortable.
Yeah, no, but it's elusive and evasive and can move around. Say it started in my lap, and I kind of feels like it's like a baby, and then I sort of treat it like a garment.
Right.
And then I leave it. I think it gets to be a pain in the butt, and then when I sit down, it's sort of dealing with this sort of space of not being able to
when you change
move
chairs
or change. Yeah, I think the piece is about the comfort and this sort of stability that people get into in the middle class, and where things don't.
But you threw it off after the first chair, and then you moved to the second chair.
Right.
And then you went back into the middle class comforts when you got in the bubble, right?
Right.
Does anybody do these things that don't really mean anything? Does any performance piece that is nonverbal actually not mean anything? Just some sort of weird surrealistic symbol? Or do they all have some sort of concrete? Or all
You'd
your
have
pieces,
to ask every performance
How about
artist
you?
that question.
When you
No, I
choreograph
think
a
everything
piece?
means something. Yeah.
You mean every dance step has a specific meaning to you?
Yeah, well, we're human beings and we're bodies, and that means something. And we move in space, that means something. What we do, everything means something. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. It means something. But do we take something away from the viewers who have seen this and may have thought of something entirely different, some meaning behind it? Now we've told them what it means.
Oh no, I hope that anything that they saw, they take for what it is, because that's what art's about. I mean, you see what you see in things, and that's what it is. So if anybody had any other ideas about what it is, then yes, you're right, you know, nobody's ever wrong.
Oh, whatever you interpret it to be.
Yeah.
Well, when you're breaking out of your middle class comforts, you're not breaking out of the middle class, but you're slashing out the middle class comforts. What are you meaning? That you can't have do anything significant unless you cast off your middle class comforts?
Well, that's an interesting question. I mean, this whole meaning thing, because every time I do it, say different things will come up for me and what it means. So the meaning actually is always changing.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you just did it now, what did it mean?
Slashing through, actually. It was an act I wanted a violent act I kind of wanted to make, to say that I'm breaking my bubble. I'm going to move on and not stay here happy, blah, blah, blah. And then I want to say something about the sponge inside, because that was completely subconscious. I've had this sponge for a while, and when I was thinking about doing the piece, I put it in. And later I saw some pictures of the brain, actually, like X-rays, and they look a lot like the sponge.
So you're in there playing with,
Wait a minute.
you're in there playing with your brain, is that it?
No, it's the idea of that, you know, if you're always in a protected kind of cloud of comfort, then your brain, you know, you stop thinking sometimes. You stop thinking about things.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Give us your background. How did you get to this point? Where are you from?
I was brought up in Washington, D.C.
Oh, you're local.
Yeah, I majored in dance in college. I wanted to be a choreographer, and that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years. I've done solos just really in the last year. Before that, I always did group work with people. And this piece is part of sort of a series that I did just more getting closer to the concepts as opposed to the complications of dealing with 5 people doing movement and music. I was trying to get closer to messages that I had in mind. Fortunately, I did this first at DCAC, DC Art Center,
right.
And that, gave me a venue to do that kind of stuff with an audience.
How long have you been doing this type? How long have you been doing this? Well, how long have you been doing performance art, and how long have you been doing this piece?
Well, I've been dancing since I was 7, and I've been doing this kind of performance artwork for about 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Is this kind
since
of
I came back to Washington, since I got out of school.
Where'd you go to school?
Bennington in Vermont.
They let you do things like that in Bennington?
Yeah,
Performance
they
art
let you do
things?
anything there.
Oh, they will, huh? Well, what other kind of pieces do you do? I take it this is one of your main pieces, but
Yeah. I do group work with vocals, and I choose different subjects. I did something called It Just Is, which was dealing with the ideas of justice. I just recently did something called Somewhere It Goes, which was like a piece with Byzantine paintings and slides projected and 5 people moving around.
We've got less than a minute left here on the show, but really quickly, where do you think you'll make a career out of this sort of thing? Is there a career in performance art?
Oh yeah. Oh well, it's a career. I mean, there's a medium and there's a place for it, I think. I'm actually going to New York. I was invited to work with a group up there at La Mama Theater. So my work, I think, through these concepts have gotten to be more theatrical as opposed to pure dance.
Are you moving to New York? Seems like every performance artist we have on here is moving to New York.
Well, Washington isn't an easy place,
Yeah.
or the area really, to feel vital because it's really what that's about, you know, in any small space doing stuff.
Yeah.
And
But
it's
success
also,
is such a middle-class concept anyway, isn't it?
Well, so is time, and we're just about out of that. So I want to thank you for being on the show this week.
Thank you very much.
That's it. We've made it through another show. We'll be back next week with something weird and entertaining. So keep watching Free for All.